Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Halloween Eve workshop. I am Rhonda. I am the education manager here at Sawgrass, and welcome to our Learn with Sawgrass series. So this is really for the person like most of my coworkers who are like, haven't really thought about Halloween yet, and so they're not exactly sure what they want to do for a costume. So I wore mine today. I am a reverse mortgage. Reverse mortgage, yeah. So welcome, and I'm gonna give the floor to Kesley.
Okay, do you want to talk about your shirt first, or do you want to do
Oh,
that at the
I
end?
did tell you I was gonna do that, and I forgot. So, just to answer any questions about the shirt, you will notice it is yellow. You can sublimate on yellow. So sublimation works on whites, brights, and lights, as I like to say. This would fall into the brights, kind of the lights, but mostly in the brights. But this is actually not sublimation. This is Chromoblast ink on a cotton shirt. So this is just a cotton shirt I picked up at Michael's yesterday. And then I used Chromoblast ink, which, if you're not familiar with that, it is our solution for 100% cotton fabric. Chromoblast ink works with Chromoblast paper. So it is not sublimation. It is a pigment ink on a transfer paper. So you can't really see it. Sometimes you kind of get the C of the paper on here, but it worked really, really well. If you ever need any tips on Chromoblast, I have lots of them. It is probably one of my favorite things. And so I'm gonna love my reverse mortgage shirt for quite a while. And
I think I would
now,
wear that
Kesley,
all
I'll
the time.
throw it to you.
Okay, thank you. I think I personally would wear that a lot. Not just for Halloween. I think it would be fun. But my husband's he's a CPA, so all those finance stuff, we joke around that around here. So today's workshop, we're going to talk a little bit about those last minute Halloween costumes. If you're still in a pinch for either a group costume or your kids' costumes, there are some really fun ones in MySawgrass. So you can see behind me, I have a child's shirt that I added a little safety vest on. And it can just be, you can get a little yellow hard hat and maybe a tool belt if you wanted to, and going out with this. My son was a huge Bob the Builder fan when he was a little guy, so this would have just been perfect for him. I did, I'll just talk a little bit about this. I did print this out on 8.5 by 14 inch, so the legal size paper. And then I spread it apart so that it could look a little bit more like a vest. I brought it down a little bit below the shoulder because I figure once there's a little arm in there, it's going to puff that back up and bring it out. But I also didn't want to have it too close to the neck to interfere with the transfer of the design. But this is it. This was so easy. It's like a 5-minute design, and you're ready to go. I do have another one that I'm going to show you. This is a police officer. So I'm going to share my screen um, and show you kind of what I did. So I'm using these, I have a child size shirt here. You could adjust the size of the design for whichever size shirt you're doing. And I have a little extra time. So I've got some piecing to do with this, and I'll explain that as we go into the design. But I thought it would be important to show people how to print out a design if you're working with your SG, but I forget which one I have, SG 500, and you only have 8.5 by 11 paper. So let's say you haven't picked up your legal size paper and you only have 8.5 by 11, or you just want to make your design a little bit bigger, which is what I wanted to do with this little shirt. I wanted to take the belt, I think this is so cute, the little police belt, and work it all the way across the bottom. Now, if you are working on a group costume, you could take this and work it across the bottom. If you can remove the cuffs, this is a cute little dwarf belt, and you could become Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and just write the name of the dwarf on the top of the shirt. So just grab the belt portion of this design. I want to talk to you about how to take apart a design. So let me go ahead and share my screen. and I'll share with you, let's see, I'm going to share my MySawgrass so we can kind of go into there and get started. So in here, I'm just going to open up the design section, and you can start with a shirt. I started with the size paper I had. So let's say, for example, on this one, I have 8.5 by 11 paper in my printer. So I'm going to go ahead and do 8 inches wide by 10 inches high. Then in the design section, if you type in and do a search for Halloween, you'll get distracted by all of the really cute designs already in there for Christmas, as I did. But let's just pull up the Halloween, and you can see here you have a lot of Halloween options. So this was the little vest I used to make the little vest shirt. I love the superhero abs. I thought that was so cute. And then the police officer is here. There's a bunch more. Let's give it a second to load in, because there are a lot of really cute other designs that have little pieces to it that you could use. The chef, that is an easy costume to do. Even the little lizard, all the different options you have. So let's take this police option here. So what I did with this was I wanted to make this a little bit bigger than just it going 8 inches across. I wanted to make it bigger. So you can, as it comes onto your canvas here, it all comes grouped together. We can ungroup these pieces, and that allows you the opportunity to kind of move elements around and enlarge them as you wish. So for this one, I would take the belt and I rotated that. I'm going to move the other items out of the way. Oops. Let's get everything back together. The little belt and everything, the handcuffs. We'll group those back together. And then I can rotate this to a 90-degree angle and work it on my page so that I have more room to make it bigger if I wanted to. So I could just pop that up there and enlarge it as I go. So each piece can be enlarged. And let me just see if I can pop this out right. There we go. Okay. So we'll put that down there, and then you can just bring that a little bit bigger and move it so that it will fill up most of your page. Now, notice that the canvas I worked on is a little bit smaller than my paper. So my paper is 8.5 by 11. I made my canvas about 8 by 10. So I don't have to worry about the margins when I go to print this. I automatically kind of built in a little extra margin there. And then you can bring the sunglasses down and enlarge those if you wanted to. Same with the necktie here. This is just has so many cute pieces. You can just enlarge that if you want to make that a little bit bigger, so that it would fill up a little bit more of the chest. And then you have your badge and everything that you can enlarge those pieces. But as I was mentioning, if you wanted to just use this belt, let's say you're working on a Santa something in the holidays, or you want to be a dwarf costume, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, you can just ungroup that and grab that little element and delete that right from the page. And then you just have the little belt to work with. So you can just print that right off. Now I did use this in a larger piece of paper. So I printed this on a legal size paper, and I've already cut out the different pieces and parts. So if we want to go to the overhead camera, I'll show you how we're going to put this back together to make something. I went ahead and gave my shirt a little press already to get it started. So when you're working with your, actually, you know what? I don't think I did do this one. When you're working with a shirt or any kind of fabric, you want to go ahead and give it that quick press, 10, 15 seconds, just to work out any moisture in your shirt. So we'll just give that a quick press. And I cut out the little pieces already on my design. You can just kind of remove a little of the extra here too. This way you'll know, you get a little easier to know where that design is going to show up when I flip it over. Okay. Got that little cutout. Okay. Now, this is my shirt is from Michaels. It's one of the Make Market shirts. It's specific for sublimation. So it's 100% polyester shirt. If you're working, Rhonda explained this one time, and I thought this was such a great explanation. For sublimation, you need to be working with 100% polyester. If you're working with a shirt that is 50% polyester, 50% cotton, only 50% of the fibers will have the design on it. So if you're going for like a little duller look or distressed look, then that's going to be fine. But if you want something, bright and vibrant, you want to do it. Make sure your shirt is 100% polyester. So we're just going to take that. All right, now the other part of this shirt, because I'm just doing the front of the shirt, I wanted to make sure that the color doesn't seep through the shirt. So I'm just going to put a little butcher paper inside the shirt. So if there's any bleeding or any of the color comes through, it's not going to come through to the back of the shirt. So the little handcuffs here, these are just adorable. So the little handcuffs, we're going to cut this down a little bit more to just give myself a little space. I have my heat press heating up to 400 degrees. So I'll press this 400 degrees for 1 minute. And we're just going to use that little piece here. We'll put this right, center it onto your shirt. Now, if you need a centering tool, just grab, if you have a ruler or if you have a t-shirt guide, you can just put that right onto the shirt and find the center of your design as well as the let's see, let me put this, I'm going to kind of put this way along the seam here. So I'll do about 1/8 of an inch on each side, and I'm just going to line it up with that seam. And then I need to go up just a hair, about like that. So I have about 1 inch on this side, and the 1/8 inch, a little bit less. So I'm going to go squirt that way, just a hair. And then I'll use that to line it up. Now, since this is on the bottom part of my t-shirt here, I'm going to go ahead and put a little tape on there just to hold it in place as I transfer it to my press. If I wanted to, I could put my, I could have my press underneath here and then lift it and transfer it, which would be super easy, but I don't. I have my press over here. So let's just do this first part here. We'll press that down and then I'll come back and we'll do the other parts of it. As you can see, my collar here is going to be up that high. So I've got room down here. This whole thing, this whole shirt won't fit in my press. So I'm going to do it by section. So if we can go over to the press, we'll put that in. And you always want to remember when you're working with your press, you want to create your sublimation sandwich. So I've got my shirt down. I have the picture paper inside the shirt, and then I've got my design flipped over, and I'll put this another piece of butcher paper on top of that. 400 degrees for 60 seconds. And we'll just close that up. Now, one thing I was thinking with this cute little costume is also if you are making something with, like, you need to do a group costume, maybe you're doing Skittles, a bag of Skittles. So you want to be red with like little Skittle pieces on your shirt. You can take your sublimation design, put it on felt and sublimate the felt. So you can have little Skittle designs all over your shirt that are just made from felt, and that gets you the color that you want on your shirt, and you can wear a colored shirt. Another fun kind of design to do that way is if you wanted to do like Care Bears and you were doing a group of Care Bears and you had that little stomach piece, you can sublimate on felt and then attach that to your shirt, or sublimate on polyester fabric and attach that to your shirt. Either way. So if you wanted to do something with a colored shirt, that's another way to do that. You can also use other heat transfer vinyl as a base. So you could do like a glitter heat transfer vinyl if you wanted to. Hope I didn't slide that as it moved. Look how cute is that? Okay. So let's see. So let me put that up there. And as you can see how much of the color transferred onto the shirt. This is this black turned out really super great. So we'll just put that there and let's check underneath and see if we had any bleeding. Nothing came through. So I'm just going to reuse my butcher paper here for the chest. And so to finish off this costume and to make our costume design just a little bit bigger, and using up our pieces, we can just put that right onto here and now attach the rest of the pieces onto the shirt. So we have the collar here. And I want to center that on the shirt. And I want to bring it down just a little bit from the actual collar so it doesn't cut into the collar and the collar become an issue with pressing by having some depth there that my shirt wouldn't work on. So we'll just line that right up in the center. And if we're talking like 5 minutes before Halloween, this shirt is an easy go-to. Then we have the pockets. These are so cute. Brenda, I need to know who designed these because these are adorable. Let's just get. The reason I'm cutting and trimming around these pieces is so that I can line up my pockets. So if I put my line up my tool here in the middle and I want to do the top of my pockets. So I think I'm going to have my badge up there and we're going to line these up on a little bit closer on the armpits here. So this side will have the badge. So I'll line the top of that pocket up there and then the top of the pocket here. Let's bring it in. So it's at the 3-inch mark there. I'll bring this one in a hair. So this is a great tool. I think I got this on Etsy. It's just an acrylic ruler that allows me to have all the measurements from the center and out on when I'm aligning my designs onto my t-shirt. And so if you're doing, as you're getting to older sizes or bigger t-shirts, you just would enlarge your pieces so that they would be larger pieces on your design, on your shirt. And you may have to do it on 2 pieces. Like if you're doing an adult shirt, you may have to go for 2 pieces of paper to get your design big enough. Okay, so we've got our sublimation sandwich. And we're just going to put this back into our press and press the top part of the design. I'm just going to put this back in and make sure nothing moves on me before we go. Okay. So one of the reasons I like to put tape on the design is because I moved it from my work surface to my heat press. So I do like to put the tape on there to hold it. Another reason is I don't want the images to shift while they're heating or while I'm putting it in the press to heat up. If they shift, it can cause ghosting, and we don't want that to happen. So there's our little shirt, and that's going to come out in another minute as it comes. So as that's coming through, let me just share my screen again, and I'll show you guys some of the other designs that were available in, if you haven't had a chance to peek through the Halloween designs. So we can pop that up there for you. You have like the retro Halloween designs over here, and then the more Halloween costumes that you can make, and the professional designs. Really fun. Like if you were doing, think about 2 other reasons why you might use these types of designs. Like if you were doing a birthday party and it was going to be decorating cookies or something like that, this little chef design would be so cute to use to decorate cookies and just kind of have that for the kids, and you could do a little name badge on there. Okay, let's bring this back over. All right. I'll just do a quick reveal and then hold it up for you. The little police shirt, little pocket, and you can really see how that color just transferred really nicely onto this shirt. There we go. So now I have somebody who is ready to go out and be a police officer. I would just throw on a pair of navy sweatpants, or if I needed to have some more warmth, I'd throw on a navy sweatshirt or something, a cardigan that would just zip right up. But I love how crisp this came out and how easy this was to do. So if you needed a quick costume for your kids, this would be the move. But what if you need a quick costume for yourself and you're going out and you just need that quick costume. So I have a ladies shirt. It's the V-neck shirt. This is a cricket shirt. They have the sublimation shirts as well. So let's just do that as a quick press here. That 10-second press. So you can get the cricket shirts. They do have the top of it. It's a V-neck on the women's. It comes in this packaging, so just look for that. And it does say, look for something that says infusible ink. That means it's ready for sublimation. So you can use this is 100% polyester shirt as well as the make market shirts. Again, we're talking, you need this tomorrow. So you don't have time to order a shirt or anything like that. You can run to your local Michael's or Joann's and pick up your shirt. So this is a small shirt, and I'm just going to, I did the press to take out any extra moisture, and then I'm running my lint brush over it, and this helps remove any extra lint that may be in my shirt, on my shirt, or pet hair, anything like that. If you're new to sublimation, the reason that that's important is the ink transfers from your paper to your garment. If there's a little piece of lint or anything like that, it's going to block that ink transferring. The ink will transfer to the lint or the pet hair, but that will prevent it from getting on your shirt. So if you do have lint, pet hair, human hair, anything like that in the way, it will prevent it from getting on there. Okay, so if we can go back, I'll show you how to place this on this design. Usually with like a woman's shirt, I like to do my design like a small or medium size shirt. I do my design between 7 to 9 inches. It just depends on what I'm doing. This is going to be a costume for an egg yolk. So this is just a white t-shirt with your egg yolk right on the t-shirt. And again, I'm just going to use my ruler here to get to the center of my shirt. I don't always trust my tags because, as you can see with this one, the tag and the V-neck are not necessarily lining up there. So what I like to do is a lot of times I'll use the armpits as the measurement to get to the middle. The armpits, and like in this one with the V-neck there, I will use that sort of as my center guide and see if I get about the same distance. So from the center, I have an inch here and an inch here. So I'm pretty confident that my armpits, if I measure it from the sides here or the armpit, I'm good to go. But you see my center here does not line up with the center right there. So this shirt, that little line there is a little bit crooked. It's off center. So I'm just going to go with the center of the actual shirt and not the V-neck. And this is going to kind of want this down a little bit lower. Usually I would do a design about 2 fingers from the top of the design. So I kind of want this a little bit lower. So I'm doing like 3, maybe 4 fingers from the top. And then it's already mirrored. So the cool thing is when you are let's see, it's mirrored and it's centered on my paper. So I can center it on my line here and put it up there. And that's right about where we want it to be. The cool thing is I love that centering feature in the print because it does put it right in the middle of the page. So I don't have to worry about getting the design off of the center. If my paper is centered, then that will make it centered. I'm also going to put my butcher paper in the middle of my shirt, and I should have done that beforehand. That's why I used a little bit extra tape there. Again, the press is at 400 degrees, and we are going to do this for 1 minute. So, okay, so I've got it centered. Looks pretty good there. And a little bit, okay. So then I also am just going to put another piece of butcher paper on top of this. And we'll cut that to size. All right, my other butcher paper had a little bit of blowout on it. So I'm giving myself a fresh piece of butcher paper. Okay, so again, my press is already at 400 degrees. I did my preset of the design, and now I'm just going to transfer it over to my press, and we will give it a nice press for 60 seconds. And I want to get that on there so that it's really nice and flat, no wrinkles, anything like that. Just put that right on there. Okay. So I'm going to just go ahead and put it in my press for 1 minute. And we'll just pop that right in there. That goes down. And we've got 1 minute. So my egg yolk, I actually found this on Creative Fabrica, the yolk itself. But you can, any kind of idea you can get with an egg yolk. And if you had 12 friends that you were going out with, or your kids were, going out with 12 friends, it could be a dozen eggs. And if you have one extra 13th friend, they could be a baker's dozen of eggs. So kind of think of like food is always a fun and easy Halloween costume. Like people can be spices. So you could just do like a picture of the spice on their shirt, and then they could be like a spice rack. You also have the the condiments costumes where everybody is their own condiment. So you have like the ketchup condiment, the mustard, the mayonnaise, all those different condiments. Really are fun, easy shirt designs that you can do. And then you just wear different colored pants with those shirts. So let's see how our egg yolk came out here. Ah, so cute. So I'm ready. I can go trick-or-treating now. This will be my costume, I think. The egg yolk. There we go. So there we go. And this is a little bit more graphic. You could do something, with a little bit more, like I'd say graphic, like it's more graphic than cartoony. This would also be fun if you had, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like if you put like a little bun, you have like a little bun in the oven kind of pregnancy shirt or something like that. So that was a fun little shirt there. I do have one more group costume to share. So if you have a group going out and you need something quick and easy, what about being a deck of cards? So I have the little Queen of Hearts here, and this is another shirt. This one has the higher neckline on it. Now I could do this on the back of the shirt or on the front of the shirt. I think we're going to do this one on the front of the shirt. Looks like I've got something on that shirt. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in. We'll do that 10 seconds and get out any moisture that's in my shirt. And while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and trim my paper down just a little bit. That's cute. So there are lots of card designs that you can do. Queen of Hearts, King of Hearts, things like that, that will work. Looks like I got a little bit of dirt on my shirt here, but we're going to go ahead and press this on there. And I hope that comes out in the wash. So again, I will use my my guide here to get to the center of my shirt. And then again, this has a pretty high neckline. So we'll just go ahead and push that right up. And again, I've got my design is centered on the shirt. So I'm just going to lay that right at the center of my ruler. And again, it's so quick and easy to do this. And I think a design like this, a card or something is easy to do, whether you are working with a group of people or you're just a standalone costume. So if you wanted to be like the Joker, or a king, if you're a family, you could have a kid, one kid could be one number, and you could run the numbers and the king and queen through the whole thing. And then we're just gonna go like this. Do that. And I did put my piece of material in the middle there, so we don't have to worry about it bleeding through or anything like that. And then again, I'm just gonna pop this over here. And you can see how quickly I'm able to make multiple costumes. If you have a bunch of people you need to do costumes for, it's so easy to print out your design and then just press it right onto your shirt. All right. Are there any questions about pressing on your shirt or anything like that, or coming up with ideas? Or Rhonda, anything you want to add?
No, I can tell you some others I've done over the years. I've done like a banner with ghost ceiling and then added pom-poms, and I was a ceiling fan. I've also just did a shirt with the word life on it and then walked around with a bowl of lemons. So life was handing you lemons. You can also do like a shirt with line like rectangles down it. It works really well with like say heat transfer vinyl. Do black and do the heat transfer vinyl, and you don't even have to print it. But then you just tape a fork on, and then you're a fork in the road. One year I did Control C, and then did cat ears and cat makeup, and I was a copycat. You can play around with the Hello, My Name Is sticker concept with a shirt
Yes, I love that.
and do identity theft. I just had a conversation with Rhodes, which some of you know Rhodes. We're actually going to use the egg for him tomorrow, and he's going to find a pair of devil ears
Oh
and
my
devil
gosh,
horns and be deviled egg.
I
So
love it.
that's what
That
he's
is
going to do for
perfect.
tomorrow.
Okay, you
This,
know what the egg reminded me of? Because I saw it sitting there before you even said what it was. And I thought it was maybe a basketball. Now,
oh,
what I did when I was pregnant with my oldest was I did like a half shirt jersey and put the because I'm from Chicago, Chicago Bulls, that was like the height of the Michael Jordan era, and I put Michael Jordan's number at the top, but then I painted my stomach like a basketball. I was very cold. The
that is
orange, if you change that out to be a basketball, that would be a cool maternity
awesome.
Halloween thing. I saw that and immediately thought, oh, I would have been so warm.
You didn't have to have your stomach hanging out there. But there's our cat. And if you did a whole bunch of everyone could have their own shirt, king, queen, ace, and down the line there with your cards. So that's a fun design. And it's also something that you might wear at other occasions too. So it's not just a one and done kind of shirt. Although I'll tell you, if I had done these Halloween shirts for my kids, I think they would have worn them all the time. So let's talk about our trick or treat bags. This is there's a lot of different ways you can do your trick or treat bag. I love this one because it's a string, it's a like a string bag, the drawstring bag here. And it's got, your opening and then your shoulder straps to carry it like a backpack. So I'm just gonna do one little design on here. Let me get this heat it up here to get started. do 10 seconds on that. But the fun part about having the backpack is as your kids get older, my kids always like to run faster and get to more houses. So having something that they could throw on their backpack was great. And even that they could carry it in front of them. You know, just put their arms through it like this and then carry it around like that, and they could do their trick-or-treating like that. If they were a kangaroo, this could be their like little kangaroo pouch, and they could get their trick-or-treat treats like that.
You know what
So-
I use?
What?
I use the glitter bags, the either the drawstring ones
Mhm.
or the handheld ones, because when you sublimate on them, that glitter after dark, when the headlights hit it, it makes them visible.
Very cute. That's a great idea. Yeah, because you could always add some reflective heat transfer vinyl or something onto the bag if you wanted to, or use glow in the dark heat transfer vinyl would work. So for this one, I just was going to use this little trick or treat design. It's this little design here. And while this is heating up, I'm going to share with you how I did this design in my Sawgrass. So we'll make our little sublimation sandwich here. And I'm just going to reuse this guy and put this on the inside. Because as you know, I don't want it to bleed through. Also, I do love to sew. So if you can take a pillowcase and make a pillowcase for your trick or treat bags. That's how we did it in my day. We did the pillowcase trick or treating. So okay, same thing here. This is a polyester, so 400 degrees at 60 seconds, 1 minute. I've got my sublimation sandwich going and my design is facing up. So we're going to go ahead and sublimate that. While that's heating up, let me share my screen. And I'm going to show you this one because this design, I changed the design itself. So again, if you go into designs and we do Halloween. Oops, spelled that wrong. So you may not know that, I mean, all these designs are available to you. Everything is already, you know, done. All the hard work is done for you. So we can just grab a design, the Happy Halloween, and you can change the colors. You can remove, like, so for this one, I went ahead and removed the background because I was putting it on white and I didn't want to have like a square of off-white there. And so I took off the happy and I'm just going to go back and to the fonts. And then you can change your font. And you can change the font if you want, but you can also change the word. So instead of Halloween, I can just type in trick or treat. And see how it just adjusts and resizes itself to be underneath the design. And now I've got my design like that, and I can print that out and I'm ready to go. So if you have different kids and you want to do like each child's name on the top of it and then say trick or treat underneath it, that is always, you know, a good option. But if you just need a cute little trick or treat bag, there we go. So this can go with your little princess who's out trick or treating or anything like that. Lots of different ways to do your trick or treat bags. There are, I was hoping, I thought I had my other trick or treat bag here. Let me just grab it. I have it over here off camera. Nope. We did one before. I just was going to remind everybody that we had done one that had a bunch of different, we cut pieces apart and then made it for your bigger bag. So this little bag was perfect to fit an 8.5 by 11 sheet on. But if you wanted to go a little bit bigger and cover the whole bag, you could just cut out little pumpkins and sort of like I did the police officer t-shirt, you could do that with that design there. And before I forget, I also did pull out some other additional shirts we've done in the past. This one, unfortunately you can't see it, but it does have the sublimation design on it. and then some glow in the dark stars around it. I did that one and then this little firefly one. So like if you're decorating a costume, and you want to add the your main design to it, but then add some heat transfer vinyl to give it a little glow in the dark. And then also this one where you can add your rhinestones to your design. So if you were doing like a cowboy or cowgirl design and you wanted to add some rhinestones to it, you certainly can, up your design if you wanted to. So if you had, like if this was for, let's say your little girl was a construction worker and maybe she wanted to have you wanted to add a necklace on here, you could just add that with rhinestones or something like that if you wanted to. And you can just kind of bling it out a little bit more, or you could cut some reflective tape and put that right on there, or heat transfer vinyl that's reflective and put that on there. Even if you just put a little piece of strip of reflective vinyl on the bottom of that. That's another easy way to decorate with that. Okay, so we've gone through those really quickly. I feel like really quickly. So I have a little extra design here. This is a hot pad. I'm using that word wrong. It's a mitt, hot mitt. This has the skeleton hands are actually glow in the dark hands. So those would be at night if you're barbecuing or something like that, you could have this on. But I also thought it wanted to show you how to do the sublimation on the hot pad hands themselves. So I went ahead and did the design. Here we go. The eat at your own risk, but sometimes in the kitchen it is that way. And I figured if you had your hands in it like this, the eat at your own risk, you would want that to have like the pumpkin up at the top of your design like that. So we're gonna this is 400 degrees for 1 minute, and I'm actually going to trim the bottom so that it'll snug right along the bottom of the hot pad there. So let me just grab that and we'll just trim the bottom of this design. And I'll just give a little extra depth there. So if that'll snug right on the bottom there. And then you have the I don't have to worry about like the extra side around it. This part of it, since it's black and my design doesn't have a background to it. So I'm not too worried about getting it all squared away as far as, having extra color on the outside edge. But I do want to make sure I get it centered on my design. And we're going to use our centering ruler here. So I know right where the center is. So that's about the center. I'm just like kind of eyeballing here to make sure that I've got it about the center of the design there. And then we're just going to clip it right there. Now I did center this on the design as well. So if I found the center of my paper, I could find the center of the design that way. So let's just double check my math. So it's 8.5. So I'm a little bit off. I'm going to put that right here as my center. Here, we'll do it on the back side because that's where the design's going to go. Right there. So that's the center, and I'm just going to put that onto my design. Now I have already pressed this, but I'm going to use my lint roller and roll it over it. Make sure there's nothing that's going to stick on there. And this is one, since it is padded, if you wanted to, you could put a piece of foam core in the center of it to kind of like raise it up a little bit if you wanted to. I think it'll be okay right in the middle. So let's find our middle of our mitt here. 3.5, 3.5, 3 3/8, 3 3/8 right there. So my center, and then we just line that right up there on the center. And we'll just put a little tape there. Okay. There we go. And then I'll do, now I don't have any sublimation peeking around the edge, so I'm not too worried about making sure I have the sublimation on the bottom. I will go ahead and make a sublimation sandwich here, and we'll put that in 400 degrees for 60 seconds.
You have black fabric, so you know what I'm going to want to see when you're done.
I know what you're gonna wanna see, and I don't think we're gonna have a problem with that, but we'll see. We can check, and then I've got another one, so we'll double check if we do have a problem with it. So what Lori's talking about is if there is any, if there's any bleed in the dyeing of the glove when we heat it up. Which this is now the second time that has gotten heated up, because I heated it up once for the heat transfer.
It
So
is
that,
so funny that only that one item, the pillow, did it to you. And then ever since then, everything black hasn't done it. But every time I've done black,
uh-huh,
it's done
black.
it so many times that I would never even think of not using top and bottom paper.
That's funny. So, yep, we have no carryover there. And there's our design. Now, there is a little bit on the outside of it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there is a little bit on the outside rim. So right around that edge, you get a little bit of the discoloring. But we'll take this one, do the same thing here. We'll just line it up in the center. And I think these oven mitts are really so clever for gifts. Like if you're going as a hostess gift, these, I may have to say this for another workshop, but you could make an oven mitt like this for somebody like Thanksgiving time and put like sauces in the pocket and take that as a hostess gift. So that they have it's just a really easy gift to make. All you have to do, really, you don't even have to do anything more than each side of the sublimation. You can put the host monogram on it. Anything like that would be so, I just think it's so fun. And then again, like if you're going to somebody's house for Halloween, we're headed over to somebody's house for some chili tomorrow night, and I'm like, this would be really cute to stick some Halloween candy in the gloves or something of their favorite little Halloween treat. And these designs look really cute on a tote bag as well. So let's see if I can. I'm going to do one more thing here. We're going to go back into this section here. Now, usually once you add a design to your background, it does remove anything else you have on it. So when you're starting to do a design, you want to do the design first. And then, let's see. Okay, so we want to do the design first and then add anything on it. So I was thinking like if you were going to do, let's find that cute little cat here. We're going to apply this design. So you'll see it'll remove everything that's on there and put that cat on there. Then I think if I go to like elements and I go to the graphics library. Now I haven't tried this yet, so bear with me. We're going to find a frame. This is the frame I'm looking for. If I add that on there, okay, that works. So let's say I want to put this on my, I want that on my design. Let me delete that first though, because I want to grab my cat in this and make it a little bit smaller to fit in the frame. Back to the graphics library, grab our frame again. Let's not get distracted by all that cute Christmas stuff out there and the Hanukkah stuff. Okay, I'll grab this frame again. So see, that's going to be the frame. So if you wanted to do something like this on a trick or treat bag, you absolutely could. I'm going to add another background of this. So we're just going to do, oops, not a background. I want a shape. So I'm just going to put a square behind it. And change the color of the square, the rectangle here, to match my background color. And then I'm going to remove my background color. So if I go here to my shapes, my colors, let's go back. Going back. All right, let's do my elements, my backgrounds. This is the color. So I'm going to copy that color. So I'm going to control copy. And then I'll go to my shape. And I'm going to change that shape to be the hex color of the background. Then we're going to go to our layers and bring that hex rectangle all the way to the back. So we're going to send that to the back, but our background of the actual design, we're going to clear that out. So now I have this cute little frame that we can put on a trick or treat bag. So we'll go ahead and print that out if we have time. Let me stop share there. And we have the reveal of the other side of our oven mitt. There we go. So that one you can see the grid lines a little bit more. The other one didn't do that.
I also wonder if it's the difference, like on this, the between you have an auto press that is only going to come down and give you so much pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I have a manual press, and I tend to lean on the heavy pressure side of things. So I wonder if I'm putting more pressure on items.
Then you need to, or just
Well,
in
no, I
general?
mean, the pressure works out fine for my design. It's just, it's closing it so much so I get more on the paper. It's
Yeah.
happening, like I'm seeing it more.
Yeah, I also notice when I go fast, the press doesn't always have time to reheat up. And that I think causes me problems. So I always say I need to slow down.
Yeah, like when you did the one design on the tiles.
Yes. Yes. And I had gone too fast in between those.
Although I think that one that you just forgot to close it because there was nothing there.
I know. You have a good memory. So let's just do this last. I'm gonna heat up my last trick or treat bag here. Hopefully my frame will come out for me. We can do that one. That was so cute. I love the glow in the dark side of this too. And then you get that out of the oven. I may have to save that then and use that for sourdough or something. Okay, let me go back over here and I'll share my screen one more time to right here. And then this is the print utility. So you can see how that's going to come in and we'll center it on our page. There we go. So what I like to do is I do like to center it on the page right here by clicking that. And then I also want to make sure that you've got your material selected. So this is going to go on polyester. And I want to make sure that my product matches my preset there. My color management is on vibrant. I've got it centered and I'm ready to print it. So then I just click on the printer. Okay, so that's going to come out. I've got this guy is pressed. Oh, he's wrinkled. On the other side here, that's not so wrinkled. Right on here. And we'll just do the lint roller on that. And again, if you need to, don't forget you can always press the center of your design. So if I want to make sure I have the center of my bag, I can just put that right on the edge there and press that part of the design. So I know right where the center of my design will be. I just got a little light press there for it. And then we're gonna just take our cat and I'll trim this down just a little bit to make sure that it's not extending past it. Oops. I think I have something stuck in my trimmer here. That's okay. I've got some little black line on the outside edge there left over. I think that's probably from my design. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm gonna have to find the center. I should have found the center first. That's okay. I'll just do a little press there, find the center of my design. I could go crooked if I wanted to. Crooked is crazy. So if you're ever wondering how to get your design on a little easier and not have to worry about it lining up, always go crooked. We'll put our sublimation sandwich in the middle there. And then line that up with the center. Now, again, if I were just doing this right on my press, I would, I may or may not worry about taping it down, but since we're moving things around, I'm going to tape it down. And go like this. Make sure it's nice and flat on there. Okay, I'll just take this back over to my press and we'll do this for 400 degrees at 60 seconds. And I do like to make sure that my handles are out of the bag, out of the way of the press, so it doesn't get my handle stuck in there. It may have a little bit of extra room on the side here because it's got like the base of the bag has a little 1 inch or so. We're gonna go ahead and press that one down. Give that 60 seconds. And there we go. So yeah, I do think like mine is caused because I just go so fast sometimes when I'm, especially in classes, I don't go slowly and let it cool down and go again.
Hey, I pulled a real beaut the other day. I closed the press and walked away and forgot I had something in the press and was standing out in my garage. My son comes running out and he's like, "You think you might want to come in there?"
You may have left it in too long.
Yeah.
Was it okay or did it damage?
Oh, it was burnt. It was very burnt.
Oops.
I mean, I never leave the office when I close the press. I don't know why I did that. I just squirrel my button.
All right. We got 3 seconds. So the reason I added that little frame to my design was really so that I could use that cream background on the design and have that show up. And so here we go. I've got a nice little wood frame on my design. So just some ideas on combining elements together to make super cute designs. I guess I have kind of a cat theme going here with my Queen of Hearts and my scaredy cat. Here we go. I'd be ready to take my kids out trick-or-treating. All right. Well, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this and learned a couple tips and tricks maybe you didn't know as you're working in your Sawgrass software and with the PrintMate center. I do like to center my designs. It does make it easier when I am actually transferring them to a shirt if I know that the design is on the center of the page. So were there any other questions, Rhonda, or anything?
No, I think we're good. Thank you so much. I think we're all ready for Halloween, Kesley. And
I know,
everyone have a good and safe one.
Thanks so much, everybody.